Hey Astro fans! This week we're looking at a newly discovered exoplanet, Proxima b. A team of scientists involved in a project called Pale Red Dot observed for 16 years and found evidence of an exoplanet around our nearest star, Proxima Centauri. The exoplanet is definitely at least a bit bigger than our Earth, so about 1.3 times the mass of the Earth. It orbits its star in 11 days, so that means its year is 11 days compared to the 365 days that we have. So it's pretty short, and it's really close too, both to us and to its star. Proxima b is 95% closer to its star than we are to the Sun. It's like comparing the distance of Oxford to Rome with Oxford to London, much closer. So while their star is much smaller than ours, it appears much larger in their sky. And its distance to us, well, it's our closest neighbour. Proxima Centauri is 4 light years away, or if you're like me and prefer parsecs, it's about 1.3 parsecs away. That means it would take light 4 years to travel there. So how did they detect this exoplanet? Because if it was direct imaging where you got an actual picture of the exoplanet, it wouldn't take 16 years to confirm whether or not it was there. The technique they used is called Doppler spectroscopy, or the radial velocity method. When a planet orbits a star, the planet actually gives the star a bit of a tug. So the star doesn't just stay stationary as the planet orbits around it, it moves back and forth slightly. It keeps on doing this repeatedly, and you can see this happening by looking at the star's spectrum. Spectrum shows the characteristic lines of all the elements that are in the star. And as the star moves, the lines move into the red part of the spectrum and then into the blue and back again and back again and back again, depending on the orbit of the planet. Once you have enough measurements, you can see whether or not there is this repeating pattern, and basically whether or not there's a planet there. And as well, you can see just how big that planet is by just how big the pull is on the star. The reason it took so long to confirm whether or not a planet was there is because even though it's a bit bigger than Earth, it's still pretty small, and so the effect is very slight. So you need a lot of observations to make sure that what you're seeing is really there and it's actually real. And lastly, the big question, are there aliens on Proxima b? Well, we don't actually know yet. Of course, we've only just discovered that it's there, but everyone hopes so. It is at the correct distance from Proxima Centauri to have liquid water, so who knows, maybe it could have some life. But there are potential problems. It is thought that the planet is probably tidally locked to its star. That means it's locked in an orbit where it only ever shows one face to the star. So instead of rotating around as it orbits, one side of the planet just stays facing the star the whole time. This is like our moon. We only ever see why life is so successful here on Earth is that we have night and day. If you keep changing the side of the planet that you're showing the star, everywhere is quite evenly warmed up. If you only have one side of the planet facing the star, then one side gets very hot and the other gets very cold. But we don't know for sure if it's tidally locked yet. People just think that it might be. Another problem is the activity of the host star, Proxima Centauri. While it may be only 12% of the mass of our Sun, around 15% is luminous, it's actually a very active star. Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf, and it releases roughly 63 solar flares every day. These are big releases of energy from the star. So depending on the magnetic field strength of Proxima b, it might be able to defend itself against these solar flares. Who knows? Although it does also have to contend with roughly 8 super flares each year. Previous simulation work has shown that some atmospheres on planets can recover within 2 years from one super flare, but 8 super flares in 1 year is quite a lot. So this could just be blasting all of Proxima b's atmosphere away. We know the atmosphere is very important for our life here. But as I say, who knows? There could be life beneath the surface that's managed to survive and live with all the liquid water that it can have. Or maybe Proxima b for some reason has some really strong magnetic fields. It could have a way with dealing with these issues that we've thought of. So we'll just have to wait until we get future observations to see more of what's happening. Until next time, keep being curious.